Hey, what's up everybody? Happy New Year. Now, you know what? I was having a couple appointments down here and I got about a 2-hour gap until my next meeting / appointment. So let's check out Lower Manhattan. We'll check out some of the new development real estate down here, and then we will explore the South Street Seaport. So if you could hear me and if we are streaming in 1080p, just give us a thumbs up in the chat and we'll get started here in just a moment. All right, what's up everybody? I should say good afternoon. Welcome back to Walks in Wall Street. This is gonna be a quick daytime stream, as you know. I was working all day, very successful day. I had a couple meetings in Lower Manhattan. Got about a 2-hour gap, so we might as well take a look and explore Lower Manhattan. We'll check out some of the new developments. We'll walk past 130 William, which is one of my personal favorite condos in Lower Manhattan. We'll check out the World Trade Center and South Street Seaport. Should be about an hour and a half, and let's get started. We are on the corner of Spruce Street and Pace Plaza. This is the very notable and iconic Pace University. So pretty much standing directly on the on-ramp to the Brooklyn Bridge. Lots of tourists out today. Still a ton of tourist activity in the city. But beautiful day in Manhattan. Bright sunshine pretty much all day, but it was very cold. And it is very cold, so we are bundled up. And let's get started. See who we have in the chat. Whoa, that was strange. Cynthia J, what's going on? Stephen Bate, welcome. It's a successful day in real estate. Yeah, I mean, you know, the market is picking up. People are more willing to meet and to talk. Pattern here. 8 Spruce Street. Let's cross and see if we can get out of the buffer zone. All right, I think we should be good now. What's up, DC? Welcome. Hey, Carl Roth. It's good to see you. Happy New Year. I want to take a quick trip to South Street Seaport. Now look at this. This is a very, very cool shot of 130 William. Look at that. This was the best-selling condo in 2022. I think it's about 90% sold out. Sits right on the corner of Fulton Street. Wendy England, what's up? Sally, it's good to see you. So let's go to the South Street Seaport and we'll take a lap around and we'll go up Wall Street and we'll check out one of the, well, I should say the largest office to condominium conversion in the city's history, which is One Wall Street. We've been talking a lot about that particular building, developed by Harry Macklow and Macklow Properties. We've been doing a lot of these streams in Midtown Manhattan, so now that we're finally in Lower Manhattan, especially during the day, you're gonna get to see sort of a front row look at what it's like to live down here, right? What it's like to work down here on a day-to-day basis, and kind of give you a nice compare and contrast. Hey, Mr. King of Florida, this is Tom. Let me ask you, hopefully there will be snow in New York City. Not a big snow guy, but I will say this. I was looking at the weather forecast for this weekend. And Sunday we may get snow, just depending on the temperature. If not, it's gonna rain. However, if I had to choose between rain and snow in the city, definitely would choose snow, because at least you're not gonna get all wet. It's not gonna be disgusting. You know, you could actually walk around outside. Rain is just no good, my friends. Carl Roth's, Tom, I love the video you did, the last unit at 130 William. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get back in there, but there's not many sponsor units available. Again, like I said, it was one of the best selling condos of 2022, one of the best selling buildings, so not too many available units. There are some resales. You can see it here. We just made a left on Fulton Street, and this is the retail facade of 130 William. Love the architecture. Now, the higher up you go in the building, right, obviously you get better exposures. You can see all the way to the Manhattan Bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge, really all the way to downtown Brooklyn, right? And then, check this out. This is probably one of the most iconic shots looking west on Fulton Street. You get a pretty nice unobstructed view of One World Trade Center here. So again, one of the best-selling buildings of 2022. I think it's going to achieve a full sellout sometime in 2024 this year. Hey, Brendan says, hey Tom, have you ever run into Casey Neistat? I have not. I have not. But maybe one day we will. Who knows? I think his office slash loft slash apartment is somewhere in the Soho neighborhood of Manhattan, which we frequent quite often. Hey, Gary Carpenter's here. Lori, good to see you guys. Monique, this is how far from Astoria? They had a 1.7 earthquake there. Really? In Astoria, Queens, they had an earthquake? I didn't know that. Wow, that's wild. I didn't hear about that. I heard about the earthquake in Japan, which is horrible. I was seeing some of the aftermath photos on Twitter. It's kind of really heartbreaking. A Simple Life is here. What's up? Say Tom in chat. Thanks for joining us on this very rare daytime stream. Okay, so we just came from Fulton Street. Now this is going to be the public courtyard here at 130 William. Notice the architecture. It's really what sets 130 William apart. Now they do have retail space for lease. I believe this is going to be a coffee shop at some point, which will be great for the residences. This is the main entrance, the main front door to 130 William. And then as I pan the camera up, pay very, very close attention to the detail on the windows. Very cool. Obviously lets in tons of natural light. And again, the higher up you go, the better exposures you get from the north, south, east, and west, because a lot of the buildings around you are a lot lower than 130 William. So pretty cool. Very, very unique building. Now the amenities at 130 William are pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. They have a saltwater swimming pool, they have basketball courts, they have a gym, pretty much anything you could imagine, right, to have in a luxury condo. They have it here at 130 William. Now, the architect, Sir David Ajade, a lot of the amenities, right, like the saltwater swimming pool, resembles all of the fixtures in the bathrooms, right? So the swimming pool will kind of look like the tubs. The waterway into the swimming pool looks very, very similar to the faucets and all the fixtures in the actual units. So very unique, very bespoke property. And there's no wonder why it was one of the best-selling condos of 2022 in a very tough market, by the way. Okay, because one of the things that we've been talking about is Lower Manhattan, where we are right now. We're actually going to continue to walk down William Street until we crash right into the Federal Reserve. But Lower Manhattan has some of the highest office vacancy in the entire city. So not a lot of people work down here anymore, right? So it's hard to sell condos in places where people don't generally work. But they did such a great job on that building, from the amenities, from the fixtures to the views, that it sold out very, very fast and at a very reasonable price per square foot. Very cool. All right, John Street and William. If you guys look into the distance, I'll point the camera up a little bit. This is the Federal Reserve, and we are going to be hearing from the Federal Reserve tomorrow, actually, as they release their minutes from the December FOMC meeting. And again, here you have exposures of the World Trade Center. This looks great. Beautiful day in Manhattan. Hey, Sally's here. Susan Wolin, welcome. Hawaii says, I read that they have a penthouse combo with either Ferrari or Lamborghini. I think so. It's like a themed penthouse, maybe. I'm not too sure how many sponsor units they have left on the market, but I know that they have a few resales as well. But yeah, it's an awesome, awesome place. Someone says, so that's 130 William. I see it from my terrace on Park Row and wondered what building it was. It's very nice. Yeah, it's stunning. And if you ever have the opportunity just to take a tour of the building, right? The sales team is great. We work with them a lot. And the amenity package is really, really cool. Now, also, the last thing I didn't mention, I don't think I mentioned this before, but at the very, very top of 130 William is the fully exposed roof deck. Now, I think there's just over maybe 3,000 square feet, I can get to the exact number, of communal space on the roof, but you do have the ability to buy individual sectioned off cabanas, and I believe they start at about 500,000. So if you want your private space all the way on the roof, where you can put a barbecue grill, a cabana, you do have the option to purchase that starting at $500,000. Maybe I'll set that up. Maybe I'll reach out to the sales team and get another preview of the building and share that with all of you. But now this is the Federal Reserve. We're staring at it right now. Hey, Mary Lewis is here, says Happy New Year to all. Good to see you. Alwyn says hello, wishing you the best. Thank you so much. Michelle K says my favorite building, One World Trade Center on the corner. I love it as well. But Belmar Beagle, it's good to see you. Tiffany Allen is joining us as well. Fixed Image. Kathleen says never saw this building before. Yeah, and if you ever walk across the Brooklyn Bridge during the day, okay, because at night, obviously the facade of 130 William is a darker facade, so it kind of blends in with the skyline. But if you ever get a chance to walk across the Brooklyn Bridge or the Manhattan Bridge during the day, the facade really, really pops out, and it lines up directly with One World Trade Center, which is pretty cool. Phil's here, what's up? Bree Grams is Tom and lunch. What a great Tuesday. Yeah, you know, I had a quick meeting down here. I was on a listing pitch. So I was meeting a potential client, maybe getting ready to list their apartment down here. And I have about a 2-hour gap. About a 2-hour gap here before I have to go back uptown to my office in Madison Avenue. So I thought, it's a nice day. We got to take advantage of these nice days. Might as well pop on the stream, tour some new development, and check out the Federal Reserve. So yeah, happy to be here, getting some exercise. Look at this. This is a cool gallery here. Art Above the Mantle. Right on Nassau Street. Very cool. Kathy Lyons says great views, Tom. Good to see you, Kathy. Thanks for joining us. Gary says, are you going to be on tonight? Most likely, yes. We'll do our regular live show tonight at about 8:30 or 9. But speaking of new development, right? So we covered 130 William. I want to make a quick left here on Nassau Street, and I want to take you guys to a very, very unique property. It's called 1 Wall Street. Now, 1 Wall Street is the largest office to condominium conversion in the city's history. Now, to be honest, transparent, it's not selling too well for multiple reasons. So does everybody remember the 432 Park Avenue building that we talk about all the time? If you're not familiar with it, you can just do a quick Google search. But that is the building that we always start our live streams from at night, right? Because my office is literally right next door. Now, the developer on that is Harry Macklow. 432 Park Avenue is one of the most luxurious and sought after buildings in the city, very expensive. And Harry Macklow Properties, also led the development, or I should say the conversion, on 1 Wall Street. But they made it so over-the-top luxury, right? Very similar to the luxurious amenities that you would find on Billionaires Row. From your own private restaurants for the residents in the building, saltwater swimming pools, game rooms, bowling alleys. What else do they have? They have like a whole WeWork setup for work from home. The problem is the building is tremendous, guys. The building is about 580 units. So when you're buying luxury real estate, a lot of real estate investors or people that are looking to buy luxury, they want to buy a very bespoke product with not, hundreds and hundreds of units in the building, right? So I think for Lower Manhattan, I think they overdid it with the luxury. Like, they have all of the same kitchens that are at 432 Park Avenue are all of the same kitchens in 1 Wall Street. But it's a tough sell, right? Why is it a tough sell? Well, as we talked about before, I want you to look up at all these buildings. These buildings are beautiful, right? They're gorgeous. But here's the problem. A lot of them, unfortunately, are vacant. Not all of them, but a lot. Lower Manhattan has the highest office vacancy in the city. And if not a lot of people are working down here right now, well, then a lot of people aren't going to want to live here. Look at this big building right here. That is 60 Wall Street. That was the old headquarters of Deutsche Bank. Okay, so the big German investment bank. That building is now totally vacant. Deutsche Bank took over the old Time Warner Center at Columbus Circle. Now it's called Deutsche Bank Tower. And we've been seeing this trend at a lot of major banks, financial institutions, hedge funds, family offices, private equity firms moving from Lower Manhattan further uptown by Park Avenue, by Times Square, the Hudson Yards, Columbus Circle. And Lower Manhattan is growing more and more vacant. But that creates opportunity in my view, right? If I was a CEO of a company, okay, or a founder, that to me signals opportunity, because some of these landlords, commercial landlords, are going to get a little bit desperate. So it's quite possible that you could get a killer deal on a lease of commercial space in Lower Manhattan in terms of price per square foot, right? If you do a comparative analysis of, price per square foot at 1 Vanderbilt, right at the Hudson Yards, and then compare that to some of these older buildings down here, I mean, you can get a crazy deal. So I think the market will self-regulate, as it always does. And I think in the next 5 years, the opportunity for prices to normalize throughout Manhattan is going to happen here in Lower Manhattan. That's my prediction. Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to be right. I could be wrong, but usually the market tends to overcorrect to both the downside and the upside. So I don't know. I feel like Lower Manhattan still has a very beautiful charm to it. What do you guys think? Hey, Carl Roth, this is Tom. Turn Lower Manhattan into a vibrant new social living community. Well, Carl, that's what they're trying to do, really, with the South Street Seaport as well. But I agree. I think Lower Manhattan will turn around. Sky rocket ships is another good example of that. Is the JP Morgan Chase moved uptown to Park Avenue, and Hudson Yards from another office space that is getting revamped into housing. Happy New Year all. Yeah, you're 100% right. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't be more correct. 270 Park Avenue is the brand new JP Morgan Chase office tower, right? That actually just topped out about last month. Yeah, they had the topping out ceremony. The mayor in New York City was here. Obviously, the governor in New York State, Kathy Hochul, was here. Jamie Dimon, really all the major politicians were at that topping out ceremony. So yeah, you're 100% right. All right, so we are now on Wall Street, and hopefully we could check out the Christmas tree one final time before they take it down. But if you look all the way in the distance here, guys, that is the very iconic and famous and beautiful Trinity Church. So let's see if we can take one more look at the Christmas tree before they take it down. As we take a little bit of a stroll down Wall Street here. Hey, Carl from Canada, says Tom, all they have to do is add tons of new retail, mom and pop coffee shops, lots of things like bookstores, etc. Yeah, I think things like that are going to take some time. But I'm optimistic about it. We'll see. You know, neighborhoods in Manhattan fall in and out of fashion. And right now, the number one neighborhood that is quite fashionable, that's still trading at very high levels in terms of price per square foot, is Tribeca. Very, very still elevated pricing there. All right, team, what do you think? I think this is a beautiful shot. It's good that we came down here to do this stream because, as you know, the Wall Street Christmas tree outside of the New York Stock Exchange is my personal favorite Christmas tree in the city. I think it looks a little bit better than the one at Rockefeller Center. I don't know, what do you guys think in the chat? Do you prefer Wall Street, Rockefeller Center? What do you think in terms of the Christmas tree? Hey, Luis Martinez says, hey Tom, S&P 500 closing down about 0.6%, and the NASDAQ down about 1.6% today to start the new year. Yeah, I saw that. And the the bond market early on in the day today took a pretty big hit, right? So the bond markets sold off, yields spiked throughout the day. I think we caught a little bit of a bid, but look, I think that's normal. What we were talking about last night on the live stream is this high extension above the major moving averages. So if you look at a 200-day moving average on the S&P, we were about over 10% extended, also very extended from the 50-day. I think there was a lot of window dressing going into the end of the year for those bonuses. So I think a normal, even if we get a normal 8 to 10% correction across the board in the indices, come back down to the 200, I think that could pose a good buying opportunity. So we'll see. But yeah, you're right. Markets took a hit today, and the bond market took a big hit today too. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit more here. Hey, AUS Fly Girl, what's up? Oh, let's see who rang the closing bell today. SoFi. Not a big fan of that company, but last year I got so lucky. I was able to be here for the closing bell ceremony at the New York Stock Exchange, thanks to Envela. They're traded under the ticker symbol ELA. So thank you so much to the CEO of Invella, for inviting me and letting me do that. It was an amazing experience. Now, if you ever get a chance to go inside the New York Stock Exchange, you really got to ask them to show you the original Buttonwood Agreement. That would be my sort of piece of advice and tip. So if you ever get a chance to go inside the New York Stock Exchange and get a tour, ask them to see the original copy of the Buttonwood Agreement. That is my personal favorite piece of American history, really a beacon of free market capitalism. But now we're looking at Federal Hall, right, where George Washington was inaugurated. Now, unfortunately, the building is very old, so the scaffolding will be up here for about 10 years. They're going to be doing major repairs. But when I was working down here, I worked at 82 Wall Street, so just a few blocks down from Deutsche Bank. On my lunch break, I used to sit on the stairs right here. Everybody pretty much used to sit on the stairs at Federal Hall, overlooking the stock exchange. It was pretty good times. So hey, Foxing, what's up? This will be a cool shot of the tree. Wendy England is joining us. Good to see you. Yeah, Michelle K says looks even better at night when it's lit up. Maybe we'll be down here tonight. You never know. Momo says Happy New Year, Thomas. Wishing you the exact same, Momo. Thank you so much. Someone says, so if I had 300,000 starting small, where and how do I invest it? I can't advise on that, unfortunately. I'm not an investment advisor. I can't advise on where you should invest your money, unfortunately. It's the New York Stock Exchange. And right across from the exchange is one of my personal New York City favorites right here. The Fearless Girl that used to be directly in front of the Mighty Bull right on Wall Street. One of my personal favorites here. All right, let's walk directly under the tree. It smells really good. You can see all the pine needles. Look at that. The entire floor is littered with them. It smells good. It's like an air freshener for the city. Hey, Michael is here. What's up? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us on this beautiful sunny day in Manhattan. We're in Lower Manhattan today. We checked out 130 William, which is a great new development in the city. And now we're going to make a right on Exchange Place and check out 1 Wall Street, which is another very interesting new development in New York City, put on by Harry Macklowe and Macklowe Properties. The largest office to condo conversion in the city. All right, what do you guys think? Is this angle better for the Christmas tree down here or from the other side? I kind of like this side a little bit better. You can see more of the American flags. Hey, Andrew says, how goes your framework planning? Framework planning is good. Was working it pretty relentlessly today. Very optimistic about the year. Looks like we're off to a good start. Thank God, right? I was just telling the team here, I had a listing appointment down in Lower Manhattan. A potential client that may want to list their apartment for sale. So we talked about that, and I got about a 2-hour window, 2-hour gap before I have to head back to the office. So I'm like, you know what? It's nice out. It's January, right? And it's not freezing. Bright sunshine out. So let's go ahead and explore Lower Manhattan. Talk about some of the new development down here. This is a pretty cool shot though. I'm gonna miss this tree being up here. Now, if you're lucky enough to come to New York City next year during the holidays, this is definitely number 1 or number 2 spots that you gotta come. Number 1, because I think it looks a little bit better than the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree. And number 2, not a lot of tourists. So you're gonna have a peaceful time. You're not gonna be, you know, bumper to bumper with 1,000 other people. It's gonna be very quiet. You can enjoy it a little bit better. So, all right, let's head over to Beaver Street. We'll take a lap by the Mighty Bull, and I'll show you all a very interesting unit, one of my favorite units at One Wall Street, that overlooks the Mighty Bull. So if you're sitting in your living room at this particular unit at One Wall Street, you have a direct view of the Mighty Bull on Broadway. Kind of cool. Okay, this is Beaver Street. Let's make a right. Hey, firestorms. Tom is very knowledgeable. I wonder if he graduated from Princeton University. No, my friend. I went to public school here in New York City. Not an Ivy League guy. Just a product of New York City public education. That's all. Wow, that's such a cool contrast with the buildings. Look at that. It's like this, the sun is setting directly on these buildings in front of us. It sort of paints like a goldish, sort of orange glow. That is so cool. Isn't that? I wonder how that's coming out on the stream, because in person it looks so crazy. If it's not too windy when we get to Broadway, we'll check out Battery Park, might as well. And then we'll walk up to West Street, see Goldman Sachs New York City headquarters on West Street. Okay, Bowling Green. Wow, I don't even know if we're gonna be able to get to the Mighty Bull right now, everybody, because it's pretty packed with tourists still. But if you guys are enjoying the live stream so far today, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. We usually do these streams every day starting at 8:30 p.m. Hey, Democracy Forever is here. What's up? Just love that you showcase the business and real estate side of New York City. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, look, Lower Manhattan I think is very, I don't want to say undervalued right now, but I guess I'll go ahead and say that for lack of a better term. I will warn you all though, if you buy a place or you rent a place in Lower Manhattan, during the winter months, it is very, very windy down here. Very windy, very cold, particularly if you live close to Water Street. So just keep that in mind. This is the line to check out the Mighty Bull. I'll try to give you the best bird's eye view as I can. Hey, RJ is here. What's up? Mr. King of Florida says there was a lot of police in downtown Miami. A bunch of teens got arrested. Wow. Randy says really enjoy your daytime streams whenever you have the time to do them. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, Mr. King of Florida, I will be in Miami. When will I be there? The 14th through the 20th, I will be down there. Design Ideas, Tom, did you know 8 office buildings in Boston are going to be converted to housing? I did not know that, but that's good news. It's very good news. Now, Boston is another city that's getting very expensive, right? So look, there's a housing shortage, housing crisis, not only in New York City, right? Across all major cities in the United States. So the more product they can get on the market, you know, basic laws of supply and demand here, the cheaper prices will be. We've been really underbuilding, not only in New York City, but really in the United States. I have a thesis that the 2008 financial crisis created a very, very big scare. And everybody really has PTSD, post-traumatic stress, still from the '08 financial crisis. So if anything, we've been underbuilding. Now there are some markets, right, particularly in some of the flyover states, the Sun Belt and things like that, excuse me, that have been building a lot in terms of single family housing. So I think you'll see more corrections in terms of price in those markets, right, that have been a little bit more overheated. But New York City is not a lot of new product coming on the market. Hey, Elijah is here. Says, hello, Tom. I've been watching your videos. I have not seen your video in a while. It's good to see you again. Well, it's good to have you here again. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. Wishing you a very, very happy new year. JC, what's up? Welcome to Lower Manhattan. Says, hey, Tom and team. Good to see you, JC. All right, now I'll quickly show you this, right? We'll zoom in real quick. So if you see that red flag all the way in the distance, that is One Wall Street. But we're gonna zoom in here because if you see this little glass window here with the light on, that is the living room of one of the units at One Wall Street. So if you're standing in your living room, right, and you're looking out the window, you have a direct view of the mighty bull. Pretty cool. So let's go check out One Wall Street. If you want to follow along while we're streaming, just go to streeteasy.com. Once again, go to streeteasy.com and just check out One Wall Street. You'll be able to see all the available units. You'll be able to check out the price per square foot. You'll be able to read a little bit about the building. It's very cool. Very, very cool. Again, not selling that well for reasons that we've gone over, but let me just try to get out of the way of the bus lane. All right, this is a little bit better view, okay? So I want you to focus directly above the Whole Foods, and we'll zoom in right into the living room. You see that? This is one of the units I toured. We were looking at it for a client. You have the kitchen, your open concept living space. And if you're sitting on the couch and you look out to the south, it's quite unique, right? You have a direct view of the mighty bull. I mean, imagine to be able to say, yeah, you know, my view is of the mighty bull down on Broadway. Very cool. Now, some of the units on the east side of the building, they can look directly inside to the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. I was in some of those units, but they sold quite fast. But yeah, that's the unique aspect. Here you can see it a little bit better. But this is the building right here with the sort of orange glow on it right here. Very, very big building. Again, I think there's over 500 units in this building, and the developer made them ultra luxury. So you have your private restaurant in the building on one of the top floors. So it's a private restaurant with personal chefs for all the residences in the building. You can rent it out for private parties. You have direct access into Whole Foods from the building as well. And you have a saltwater swimming pool. Right as we get to the corner of Rector Street, you'll be able to see the facade a little bit better, and we could talk about it. All right, so here's the brand new Whole Foods that just opened up, Whole Foods Market. That's inside One Wall Street. You can see the advertisements for the commercial space here, and that is the main entrance to One Wall Street by Macleo Properties. Now, if you go on my YouTube channel a little bit further back, I believe I've uploaded a few property tours of some of the units in here. Let me stand back a little bit. Now they have a lot of the terraces outside too, which are really stunning. You can only imagine the views from the top. I'll try to get back in here this year. I'll try to get another preview and get some footage for you guys so you can see it. Hey Laytha, Happy New Year, good to see you. Yeah, JC says I like how it's more quiet in this area. Yeah, I think a lot of developers are actually hoping the, pedestrian traffic and the office traffic pick up a little bit more. And check that out. Very cool exposure of One World Trade Center standing right on the corner of Rector Street and Broadway. And of course, the very famous Trinity Church. So what do you guys think? You have Wall Street right there. And the main entrance of One Wall Street, you can see the doorman there. I'll try to cross over so you can get a little bit better shot. Hey, MH, it's Happy New Year, everybody. Good to see you, MH. Wishing you and your family a successful new year. And I'll show you the plaque here. Maybe if you want to take a screenshot of that. It's a 654-foot limestone-clad tower. And it has been converted into residential and retail in 2022 by Macleo Properties. One Wall Street. So condominiums and residences, One Wall Street, uptown style, downtown energy, immediate occupancy, studios to 4-bedroom luxury residences. So you have amenities, 38th floor pool, private dining room and bar, private gym, co-working space, and kids room. Yeah, let me know in the chat if you want me to schedule a tour. I know the sales team here, and I'll give you guys an exclusive behind-the-scenes look into some of the units at One Wall Street. You have subway access, 4 to 5 train, literally right outside your door. And as you round this right, just for some perspective, you're right here at the New York Stock Exchange. Firestorm says yes, please. Yeah, we'll do it. I'll get you guys back into 130 William, and I'll get you back into One Wall Street too. Now, I'll quickly show you this, and then let's head to South Street Seaport. So as I was telling you, this is the back side of the New York Stock Exchange, right? You can see everybody coming out because the exchange just closed, right? Closing bell probably just happened about 30 minutes ago. So you have some people leaving, but check this out. When I previewed this building, you see some of those south-facing exposures? Some of the studio and 1-bedroom apartments look directly into the floor of this exchange, which is pretty cool. I mean, imagine having your apartment views looking directly at the NYSE. That is a pretty cool appeal. Yo, Jeff in Southern Tier, New York. Hey, Jeff. This is early stream, cool building. It's interesting that the sign says up to 4 bedroom, but Street Easy shows max 3 bedrooms. That's probably because they have off-market. That's actually a really good question to kind of segue into. But look at how beautiful Trinity Church looks. Trinity Church looks stunning here. New Horizons says yes, would love a tour. Yeah, I'll get you guys in, I promise you that. Hey, Greg, just tour the building, please. I'd love to see it. I'll put that on the action items list. I'll get you guys in there. But here's an interesting thing about new development. If you've ever, let's say if you look on Street Easy, right? And you're looking at a new building, like One Wall Street, for example. Even though that there's, let's say, over 500 units in the building, there's probably only going to be like max, maybe, I'd say, what, 30 or so listed online on Street Easy. Now, the reason for that is because the developers don't want to flood the market with supply, right? They kind of want to release them in stages as they sell. So if you're interested in the building, right, and you've toured some of the units and you really don't see something that you like, chances are there probably is something that you like in the building that's just off market. So keep that in mind if you're ever looking for property in a new development and you go there and you tour, let's say, a one-bedroom apartment, and you said, I don't really like the one bedrooms here. If that's the case, just ask your agent and say, hey, by chance, is there any off-market one bedrooms in the building that are not yet listed? 85% of the time that's the case, but you just gotta ask, right? Because sometimes agents don't do, they're so busy, sometimes they don't do a good job of saying, okay, well, why didn't you like this one bedroom? Was it on a different line that you didn't like? Did it have exposures that you didn't like? Was it on a too low of a floor? Did you want something higher up? So just ask those questions, or you could work with somebody like me if you want, and we'll get you in there. All right, let's head to the South Street Seaport and we'll check out the Tin Building. Now, the summer of 2023 was the first summer ever that the Tin Building was open for operations, and it is really beautiful in there. They have all types of restaurants, grocery stores. They have a Jean Georges, I believe. It's pretty cool. Hey, Rachel K. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us as we explore Lower Manhattan on this very rare daytime live stream here. Hey, Kenny says, for families, are there parks for kids to play near Wall Street? Curious who the target audience is for those condos. Yeah, it's a really good question. The short answer is yes. I'm gonna take you to one of my favorite sort of outdoor open spaces where there's parks, which is called the South Street Seaport, which a lot of people, not even a lot of New Yorkers, know about all of the new renovations that have been made to the Seaport. Amazing views of Lower Manhattan, Brooklyn Bridge. There's parks, things to do, places to eat. But the target audience for One Wall Street, when they launched sales, was for higher end, right? Higher end luxury condo buyers. In my personal opinion, I think they should have toned it down just a little bit. Just because Lower Manhattan, again, like we talked about, has very high vacancy as it is. So if you're going to launch a project with 500 plus units, it's not like you want to make it, affordable housing style, but you don't want to go all out. And they went all out at One Wall Street. But look, I think the developer, in my view, probably has a lot of room to negotiate on those prices, and maybe you'll get a good deal. Maybe they'll pay, if you want to buy a unit there, maybe you can negotiate where the developer will pay the transfer tax or pay the mansion tax for you and throw in, let's say, a half year's worth of common charges. I don't know. I'm just sort of, if I was representing a buyer, right, knowing what I know about that building, that's how I would approach the negotiations. I say, okay, you're this percent sold about a year and a half into sales. I have a client that is really interested in purchasing, but under a few conditions. We'd request that you pay the transfer taxes, the mansion tax, and 12 months of common charges. I would kind of start the negotiations there to feel them out. But yeah, target audience when it launched was to more high, net worth, not necessarily, average working people, which I think was a teeny miss, but yeah, Boo is here, say from London. Good to see all of our viewers from London, England. Very cool. Thanks for joining us as we explore Lower Manhattan today. Fun feeds, colder in New York City. I think the temperatures are only going to drop too. Sunshine after rain. What's up? Good to see you. We're headed towards Water Street. But if you guys are enjoying the live stream so far tonight or this evening, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. Also, if you kind of like these conversations about the financial markets, New York City real estate in particular, and you want a little bit of a deeper dive, if you type !news, N-E-W-S, again, !news, N-E-W-S in the chat, I send out our bi-weekly investor newsletter that covers global macro, US equity markets, fixed income, and we give an exclusive behind the scenes tour of a lot of our listings here. So if you type !news in the chat, click the link to our Substack and feel free to join us over there. This is the Staten Island Ferry right here. This is the Staten Island Ferry terminal that shuttles Staten Islanders back and forth between Manhattan, Lower Manhattan, and Staten Island. I always say that if you're coming to New York City as a tourist, there's no need, in my view, to pay extra for these boat rides. Just hop on the Staten Island Ferry for free, and you can see some of the most amazing views of Lower Manhattan at zero cost. Now it's funny, it's actually not funny, but sometimes during the summer there'll be, people outside the Staten Island Ferry terminal trying to sell tourist tickets to the Staten Island Ferry. It's free. So if anybody tries to tell you got to pay for it, that is fake news. It's totally free. Anybody could ride it, and it's a good time. So if you're visiting New York, instead of paying $30, $40 for the tours, the boat tours, just come down here, take the one train all the way to the end. You can see right here, this is the very last stop on the one train. You just get off, hop on Staten Island Ferry. It's completely free. Wow, guys, look at this. The sunset looks absolutely beautiful, shining on those buildings over near Stone Street. That's really stunning. Wow. Hey, Alexander, what's up? Good to see you, Alexander. Thanks for joining us. Now, I believe this used to be one of the many locations of JP Morgan Chase right here. And this might be another office to condo conversion in this building right here that you see all the working men on. Hey, Rent 1018, good to see you. Happy New Year to you and your family, and thanks for joining us here during Golden Hour in New York City. So we're gonna take Water Street all the way down back to Wall Street. We're gonna make a right on Wall Street and then take a little bit of a walking tour of the South Street Seaport. And during Golden Hour, it's gonna look fantastic, so. Hey, Denise says, hey Tom, I'm loving watching your streams. Very good. Thank you so much, Denise R, for watching. Hey Dinesh, what's up? Thank you so much for watching the streams. We appreciate it. Wishing you a very happy new year. Hey Lee says, hello Tom, I just joined your video last night and I find your videos to be very interesting. Thank you so much Lee, appreciate it. I gotta put you guys down here for a moment to plug in the phone. Give me a second. So for those of you who are just tuning in, we're doing a quick daytime live stream covering a lot of the new development in Lower Manhattan. So we started off by talking a little bit about 130 William. We explored that building, which was the best selling condo building in 2022 in Manhattan. Then we took a walk over to 1 Wall Street and talked about that in depth. This is S&P Global here. Now this building that you see that says Emblem Healthcare, my old office used to be right here, 77 Water Street. It used to be the headquarters for AT&T. I'm not too sure if AT&T is still in there. But we could check. Hey Adam, just Happy New Year Tom. Wishing you many blessings to come in the new year. Thank you Adam, appreciate that. Yes, so right off here, Old Slip it is called, 77 Water. This used to be the headquarters of AT&T. Now, on this afternoon's live stream, we've been talking a lot about office to condominium conversions in the city, particularly in Lower Manhattan, because as we've said, Lower Manhattan has the highest office vacancy anywhere in the city, 15% vacancy in Lower Manhattan. So if you look here, 10 Hanover Square, if we sort of give you a good shot at the building, you'd probably say this looks like an office tower, right? If I said, what do you think? Is this an office or is this condos? I think everybody generally would guess, yeah, it looks like an office building. Well, you're half right. It was an office building. They converted it to condos. They did the same thing a little bit further up here, 95 Wall Street is the address. That used to be an office building, now it is condominiums. And there's a lot of office to condo conversions on Hanover Square. But look, you can kind of see into some of the living rooms at 10 Hanover. I don't know. Look, not my style. I'm just gonna be honest with everybody, right? And that's fine. I feel as if this just looks too much like an office. I don't think I could ever call this spot home. I don't think I could ever walk up and say, oh yeah, I'm going home. It's just too much of an office style feel for me. But look, anything that the city can do or developers can do to try to get more supply on the market, I think is generally a good thing. But it definitely does obviously look like a, you know, office tower. Now this is cool. Look at that. These look like full floor loft style commercial or office spaces. That's really, really cool. Almost kind of resembles those Soho loft style apartments. This is 90 Water Street. Hey, Ike Voorhees, what's up? Says, hey y'all, happy New Year time. I'm liking the daytime vlog. Yeah, you know, I had about a 2.5 hour gap, give or take, before I have to head back to the office. So I thought we'd tour some real estate in New York City. Okay, condo conversion number 2, right here. So this was a major office tower. You can kind of see here it has pharmacy, .95 Wall Street. The main entrance is right here, but these are now luxury apartments. So again, you could really tell the facade, office building, a lot of the layouts, the floor plans kind of still resemble an office tower, but they are now converted to condominiums. This is the main entrance to 95 Wall Street. If you want to check this out on Street Easy, kind of get an idea of exactly what I'm talking about. But this is a nice building. Hey, MH. Thank you, Tom, for giving up your free time to show us around. No problem at all. Thank you so much for watching. All right, now this is the final building that we're going to take a look at before we head to South Street Seaport. This used to be the old 82 Wall Street. This was offices as well. This is actually my old office right here, this building. Now it's a hotel. This is the Wall Street Hotel. Isn't that crazy? And it's a very nice hotel at that, by the way. This is the exact location where the original Buttonwood agreement was signed. Old building. They did a complete rip and replace. On the right side, you have a very nice restaurant, and on the left side, you have the Wall Street Hotel, which is now very expensive, but quite nice in there. Maybe if we have enough time, we'll do a double back, and I can show you the lobby of the Wall Street Hotel. But I just want to give you guys an idea of how things have changed down here, just in the very short time that I've worked down here, right? You have the Wall Street Hotel here. Some of the rooms probably have good exposures. Now, 110 Wall Street, which we're gonna walk past right now, this was one of my first customers. The company is called Droga 5. Droga 5, and they were an advertisement company. I think they're still there. We can check it out. Hey, who dat Dave's? Tom, can you say the name of the agreement again? I can. It is the Buttonwood Agreement. The cool thing is this. If you ever get the opportunity to visit inside the New York Stock Exchange, they have the physical copy, the original copy of the Buttonwood Agreement on display with all the signatures. And it was signed just on that corner there. So pretty cool. So here it is. This is 110 Wall Street. They had WeWorks here. Let's see if Droga 5 is still here. Hey, Teenies is watching from Toronto, Canada. Enjoyed your New Year's Eve walk. Just subscribe. Thank you so much for being here. Excuse me, 120 Wall Street. Yeah, looks like Droga 5 is still here. Very cool. Excuse me. Yeah, for all of our new viewers and subscribers, what we do here on Walks on Wall Street is we do essentially walking tours of New York City and Miami. We talk about the financial markets, and we focus in on New York City real estate, particularly residential. So thank you all for joining. We're happy to have you here. But this is really the highlight of the live stream, everybody. We are now going to cross over to South Street Seaport. You're going to see unobstructed views of the Manhattan Bridge, Brooklyn Bridge, the most exclusive building in Dumbo, Brooklyn, called Olympia Dumbo. It's going to be phenomenal, and I'm excited for you all to see it, particularly because it's golden hour here in the city. So let's cross over and check it out. Hey, Conrad M. Says, hey Tom, I manage a Class C commercial building on 8th Avenue in Midtown. In your opinion, what would attract potential tenant since it's not a Class A building? Honestly, price and location. So let me cross here. Now look, and we sort of talked about this at the very beginning of the live stream. If you're a CEO or a startup founder right now, there's opportunities to be had in the city to get really nice office space, or in terms of a lot of square footage, at a very affordable price. Obviously, you know the real estate business, right? Probably better than anybody here. You manage a Class C office tower in Midtown. Go look at some of the price per square foot that buildings like One Vanderbilt have been leasing at, right? Pretty remarkable stuff. So in the market, in my opinion, you're having this big bifurcation where you're having a big flight to quality. So the only thing that I think is really going to attract people, right, or businesses, is more cheaper and more affordable price per square foot. And I think if you market to startup founders and things like that, who are just looking for office space at a very cheap price, I think you could possibly get some deals done. But I mean, I don't know. What is your take on that? What is your opinion? Timothy Armstrong says, great video every time. Plus, you know the city so well, and you are very well spoken. Thank you so much from Connecticut. Well, thank you for watching, and I'm wishing you a very, very happy new year. Wow, take a look at this sunset. Incredible, right? Now this building right here, where my finger is, this little teeny building that's actually not so teeny, that is Olympia Dumbo. Now, I want everybody to Google that building, Olympia Dumbo. Unbelievable. I believe it is the tallest building in Dumbo, Brooklyn, and it is brand new luxury condos, and the amenities are insane. The amenities are absolutely insane. You have a tennis court that looks directly over the Brooklyn Bridge. Stunning, stunning. Now, we had a few viewers ask about, what is the attractive factor to, attracting people to Lower Manhattan. Well, if I was running sales at One Wall Street, I would really, really focus in on the fact that South Street Seaport, where we're standing right now, has been totally revamped and built up, right? Just a 5-minute walk away from your apartment, right on One Wall Street, you have waterfront views overlooking the Brooklyn Bridge, the Manhattan Bridge, all of downtown Manhattan, Olympia Dumbo, downtown Brooklyn, amazing sunsets. And the closer we go, the more things there are to do, right? If you see this little gray box looking building right here, that building is called the Tin Building. And 2023, the summer of 2023, was the first summer ever in the city's history that the Tin Building was open for business. So again, not a lot of people know about this. So you need to get the word out, right? Your job is to market the neighborhood, not only market the building. Yes, it's great to live in a nice building, but you want to be able to know the interesting and cool things to do in and around your neighborhood. And in my view, I mean, if I had kids, this is a pretty cool place to take your kids. You know, lots of open space to run around. You have playgrounds, you have even more outdoor space up here. Incredible views, very quiet. You can see all the way to the Verrazano Bridge. And you have one of the best movie theaters in the city, the iPic movie theaters, which is just on the left over here. Hey, Al Baker, what's up? Good to see you, Al. Thanks for joining us and wishing you a very happy new year. Yeah, Belmar says the Tin Building is nice. The inside is really cool. I think there's 3 floors of all bars, restaurants. I've eaten in there once. It's cool. There's a grocery store in there. It's very nice. You have the Seaport Museum. And one of my personal favorite restaurants, the Momofuku Noodle Bar, is just off to our right. Alexander says, which one is the Tin Building? The Tin Building is right here. This building right here. Now in the summer, it's even better. They have outdoor bars. So they set up sort of like a makeshift outdoor dining facility out here. It's really beautiful. And this is a pretty good shot of downtown Brooklyn. The very tall building in the skyline is the Brooklyn Tower. And that was built on the top of the Dimes Savings Bank, the original Dimes Savings Bank in Brooklyn, New York. Ah, no way, democracy forever, really? It's just the Momofuku in DC closed. That's too bad. Now, my favorite location is in the Deutsche Bank Tower, formerly known as the Time Warner Center. But guys, look at the current here. A lot of people don't realize this, but you know, when you're looking at the river from afar, it looks very still, but as we get a closer look at it, look at how crazy fast that water is moving. I mean, if somebody fell in there, that's you're not going to be having a good time at all. Now you see that building, all concrete right here? That looks like it's under construction. Now, it's not under construction. The bad news is the building inspectors came to inspect the building and they had to halt construction immediately. The developers cut corners on this building, and it is, if they did any more work, right, on this building at all, it was potentially gonna collapse. So they don't know what they're going to do with it. So all construction is completely halted because the developer cut some corners, and it could potentially collapse if they continue to build any more. But it's safe. It's not going to collapse right now, but should construction have continued, it was in jeopardy of collapse. Now this is a pretty cool shot of the Tin Building, And in the background, you have 8 Spruce Street. That was the other building where we originally started the live stream over there. All right, let's explore the South Street Seaport a little bit more. But if you guys have been enjoying the live stream so far, feel free to leave a like on the building and click the subscribe button if you're new. We usually do these streams every day, starting at 8:30. This is the Momofuku in here. That's insane. Look at how crazy this wake is here. Now, the best views are yet to come, my friends. Look at this. Right as we round the corner, we're gonna make this left. These, I mean, you're just gonna be blown away by the views that we're about to see here. Look at that. Unobstructed of not only the Brooklyn Bridge, the Manhattan Bridge, and check this out, all the way in the distance, right here, this guy right there is the Williamsburg Bridge. Isn't that cool? You could just sit out here on one of these chairs, have lunch or dinner. It's pretty cool. And you might be wondering what this very big glass building is. Well, the times when we do our live streams from Midtown Manhattan, particularly Billionaires Row, we always talk about Xtel. Now, Xtel is the developer who did 157, so 157 West 57th Street, but they also did Central Park Tower. This is one of their newest projects right here. This is an ultra luxury condominium, 1 Manhattan Square. As you can imagine, the views overlooking the Manhattan Bridge, Brooklyn Bridge, One World Trade Center, really stunning, really incredible. Again, that is 1 Manhattan Square for those of you who are interested. Hey, Jeremy is here. What's up, Jeremy? Welcome. This is the Fulton restaurant. Now imagine having a table right here. You're sitting here enjoying your meal, and this is your view. So you could quite literally have dinner during golden hour with the sunset overlooking the Brooklyn Bridge, the Manhattan Bridge, and all of Dumbo, Brooklyn. Pretty cool place. If you look very, very closely, you can see all the people on top of the Brooklyn Bridge tonight. It is extremely packed on top of the Brooklyn Bridge. Lots of tourists in the city still from New Year's. Hey, Kenny, so do you think having the FDR right there diminishes the livability of the area? Well, some people think so, and I think the Manhattan Borough President is proposing an idea to actually take down parts of the FDR. Now, apparently, we'll sort of turn the camera over here. Apparently, according to New York City data, this is the least utilized location of the FDR, right? And it creates this kind of ugly barrier between the beautiful waterfront overlooking the Manhattan Bridge and downtown Brooklyn and the residents here. So it's proposed to actually take that down and create a pedestrian-only, cyclist-only zone. Look, do I think it's a good idea? Maybe, right? Maybe. Would that add to the traffic problem in New York City? I think so. But look, if the city wants to evolve and become a more walkable city, more so walkable than it already is, maybe it's a good idea. I don't know. What do you guys think? Hey, Melanie's here. Says, I love that area. Lots of really lots of roaches in the wooden benches. All right, let me get out of here then. I did not know that. I'm not a big roach guy. So we will be making our way out of here. I never knew that. I haven't seen roaches here. It's good to know. Thank you so much for letting us know that. Hey, Belmar says, I remember Manhattan Square having a hard time with sales. Have things changed? The surrounding area is less desirable. Yeah, that's a problem, right? I kind of got to be careful with what I say, but yes, the location has been less desirable for reasons that you probably know, right? Without me, I can't really say why, unfortunately. But yeah, the location is less desirable. It's kind of farther away from transportation. But the trade-off is you get better views, right? I think the bet from the developer is that over time, neighborhoods improve, right? So if you have maybe you have first mover advantage on that site, perhaps. Smells really good by the water too. The sunset looks pretty incredible tonight though, doesn't it? Hey, Colton Manning, what's going on? Thank you for joining us.
Don't move from us.
We did a deep dive into New York City new development. For those of you who are just joining, we started off at 8 Spruce Street, which is a unique building, not really new development, but very unique building. Then we went to 130 William, and then we ended off at 1 Wall Street. Hey, Myra King, what's up? This is Happy New Year, Tom and Chat. Thank you so much. Happy New Year to you too. Hope you had a good holiday season. Yeah, Lisa, the World Trade Center project is not fully completed just yet. There's still a lot that needs to be done. Yeah, Cabby says Greenpoint, Brooklyn used to be all those ship docks. Yeah, Greenpoint, Brooklyn's beautiful. I used to live there. Right off of DuPont Street. So right as you come over the Pulaski Bridge, I was the first building on DuPont. Now, again, I'll warn you, beautiful in the summer and in the spring, not so much in the winter. Not so much in the winter. Very, very cold making that walk. Someone says, hey, I'm planning to come to New York next month. This will be my first time in New York City and the States. Could you tell me how the weather usually is in February? Weather's usually very cold. Frigid cold. I believe February is the coldest month in New York City, I think. So definitely make sure you bundle up. That would be my piece of advice. But that's awesome. Thank you so much for visiting us here in New York. And thanks for coming to the US. Can we just get a quick time check in the chat? I just want to make sure I'm not shooting over the time. I got to get back to the office. This is the South Street Seaport neighborhood. .503, copy that. All right, perfect. So we're right on time. I'll just get to the train and then head back to the office. I think the biggest question for me tonight is what to eat for dinner. Not too sure. Okay, we're back on Water Street, and I'll take you all back to 130 William. Hey Estelle, how late are you working tonight? Well, I don't really have anything else left to do. I just have a lot of follow-up to do and a lot of paperwork. So I'll probably be in the office till like 7:38, and then we will pop back on for the mainstream. But I thought I would quickly do a daytime live stream. I was down in Lower Manhattan, had a listing appointment here, and I had about a 2.5 hour gap in the schedule. So might as well turn on the stream and talk about some new development down here. You're gonna see a really nice view of the World Trade Center here in a moment. Look at this, right as we come up to Gold Street. Look at how cool that looks. Here's one more look at the facade of 130 William. And that's the final look at the World Trade Center.
Y'all can't fight.
So if you guys enjoyed that midday stream and you enjoyed the talk about New York City new development, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. If you want to sign up for our free investing newsletter that we will send out this Thursday, so in about 2 days, feel free to type !news, NEWS in the chat, and the Nightbot will drop the link to our Substack. And we will see you guys tonight. I gotta get something to eat, jump on the train. See you guys at 8:30. Appreciate it. Happy New Year. See you guys soon.